Good morning. Well, it's almost noontime, but hello. That's even better. I hope everyone's been doing well. Peter again. For those of you who may be just first time seeing this video, I'm a recreational or hobby or enthusiast, use the term you like, wildlife photographer. And my main interest is definitely in bird or avian photography. If I were to narrow it down even more, I'd say sparrows are number one. Warblers make top 5. Yeah, so I'm definitely more of a sparrow flycatcher. Those are my interests, and then other birds fall off from there. I live in, first of all, I'm in unceded Anishinaabe territory. For those of you that may not be familiar with that term, or especially if you're not from Canada or Turtle Island, the territory encompasses all of the area of what would be the Ottawa Valley, Gatineau Valley, and the major rivers flowing into those two rivers. The Kitchissippi is how the Ottawa River is referred to in the Algonquin language. Being unceded just means that there were never any historic treaties or agreements between the Anishinaabe peoples and the Crown at the time, or now the Government of Canada. So that's the gist of it. Specifically, I live in eastern Ontario, or the east end of Ottawa, and if you have been following, you know that I'm in Algonquin Park. Actually, I'm still here. It's been a few days, well, maybe about more like 5 or 6, since I posted anything. We went through a period of really cold weather, lots of rain. In fact, one of the cold mornings, we drove out, Joanne and I drove out to west of here, which brings you over the highlands, and there was snow on the ground. It wasn't a lot. I mean, it was a dusting, but there was still snow. I think there might be a video. I might have, I don't know, remember now, because I haven't edited any of this footage yet. But there may be a video of me photographing a black-backed woodpecker with the snow falling. But anyway, it's been cold, and now I think we're up to, it's almost 20 now. It's probably about 10 in the morning. The problem with it getting nice and beautiful, and you can see the blue background, the blue, oh, shoelace was untied, but the blue sky in the background, is that the bugs have decided to be extremely miserable. So mosquitoes, black flies, or sand flies, as I call them, Joanne calls them black flies, are just freaking miserable. So hence the bug shirt. This is made by a company called the Original Bug Shirt. They're produced by it's a family run operation that got sold to another family run operation, which is kind of cute. And they're made not very far from here, actually, in a town called Powassan, which is south of Sudbury, north of Huntsville. That's where they're located out of. I don't know if they manufacture stuff there, but have a look on if you're looking for a really good bug shirt. If you live in an area where there's a lot of mosquitoes, whatnot, and ticks, they're really good. I've also got bug spray on, because I find it very hard when the netting is on. So you can see this netting, it gets very, very hot for me, and looking through it, my glasses get fogged up, and then looking through the screen, it gets difficult. Anyway, so what are we doing? Well, first of all, I might show some of those videos and photos that I might have taken over the few days of cold weather. I've been very happy, not fairly, but happy at the video footage, especially with the Canon R and the 200-800, which I'm carrying today. Handheld. I've also got the monopod on my, I don't know if you can see it back there. But anyway, it's back there it's clipped into my cotton carrier with a carabiner on the side, and then it's just sitting on top of the fanny pack. So we were out. I did pick up, and I've checked on eBird, the listing for the airfield. I was picking up a Wilson's warbler, which would be a lifer. I did get a lifer yesterday, the olive-sided flycatcher. That was over at the Spruce Bog Trail. And then there's the yellow, it's not yellow-sided flycatcher. Yellow fronted? Might be the yellow fronted flycatcher. Anyway, I'll put it down here in writing because I might have gotten it wrong. That's also here. And then there have been eastern meadowlarks, although I didn't notice any recent postings of eastern meadowlarks. So anyway, we're going after the Wilsons, the yellow, and hopefully the eastern meadowlark. See if they're here. Joanne didn't have a good night's sleep, so she went out. She came out this morning, but she's just going to take it easy this afternoon, or maybe do some walking around the campground, because there's some pretty good birds in there too. Like there's a merlin nesting just, above us practically. Oh, making sure I have no mosquitoes in my hands. So anyway, we'll put this away. I'll put on a few of the birds that I have already seen in here over the last week that might not have made it into other videos. The brown thrasher, black-backed woodpeckers, eastern bluebirds. What else have I gotten in here? Got some cute pictures of a Cape May. And on my, because I think I was going to do a video specifically on the water thrush, the northern water thrush. They've gone dead silent, so I'm not sure if it's a situation where they get into nesting, full post breeding, get into nesting and all that, and then they just silent, they get quiet. Maybe the males take off and it's just the females that do the nesting and the raising of the young. But they've just basically gone, the four males, and I'm pretty sure they were all males, have just gone silent. I haven't seen them in the last 3 or 4 days. So I want to leave them alone now. So we're just about to walk into the airfield. You'll see behind me. Yeah, so I'll put this away and start heading to the northeastern end of the airfield, and then, maybe I'll stay on the western side first, because that's where the Wilson's warbler was. But I think if the flycatcher is around, it's going to be over there, and I think if the eastern meadowlark is around, it's going to be down at this end. So what I could do is sort of do the loop and then come back. Oh my, okay. And I brought water this time. No more being stupid. I want to start carrying water. So I'll put you down. I'll put you guys away for a bit. You can watch some other video, maybe especially the blackback. That was friggin' super cool. That was so much fun. So I'll let you watch some of that, and then we'll come back. So I'm heading back towards the main pathway. I wasn't going to go down this one, but as I was coming down, guess who I saw? Mr. or Mrs. Fox. I'm not sure if it's the boy or the girl, if it's the male or the female. It didn't quite, because I had the netting on, so I stopped the minute I saw it, and it hadn't seen me. Just a sec, I'm gonna bounce this around so I can get this down. So it hadn't quite, I don't think it saw me initially. So I pulled off some photos there, did some video. There is still a bit of heat haze. I mean, now I was quite distant too. Sorry, it's just between the heat and the sweat and the glasses, everything. And I can't take the glasses off because then I'll trip over everything and then you'll have something to laugh at. So anyway, the fox moved up, it moved closer. I did some videotaping, which from yesterday's experience, I know that at least the videotape it might not be great, but it's going to be usable. And then it turned down this pathway that I'm on. Didn't get very far, and that's where I think that's at that point, because it was doing the way cats, and I find foxes are more like cats than dogs, but now I think I'm seeing everything. So it was doing the mouth open breathing like a cat does. And I don't own a dog, so it's been so many years since I've been around dogs, so maybe those of you that have dogs will say that dogs do the same thing, but cats will often use their mouth, their tongue, to bring in the scent and to smell, and that's what he or she kind of seemed to be doing. It sat, and I mean, I probably, those are going to be decent pictures, just looking in the back of the frame, back of the camera, and snapped some photos there, and then I was starting to move up onto it, and at that point you could see, okay, well, that was the end of, it wasn't going to play with me anymore, and it headed back to the safety of the forest. And I'm not going to go following. One, the forest behind is very dirty, and two, I don't, chasing a bird is one thing, because a bird can do what it wants. I mean, realistically, you can say you're chasing a bird, but even that one over here earlier, there's only so far I can chase it, and it's gone. But chasing animals is a legitimate practice. When you're hunting, you deer hunting especially, you go on the chase, and there are fox hunts in Europe, and I think predominantly in England, still, where they chase. So I don't want to say legitimately, you could chase an animal like a fox. I just don't believe in doing it. To me, that crosses a line that I'm not going to do, and put stress on an animal that's quite frankly disgusting to scare. Make an animal feel like it's being has a predator chasing it is just not right. So I won't do that to the fox, especially. It didn't do anything to me. I'm not going to do anything to it. I think it's still chase. Still watching for that bird. So he or she is gone. I sort of sat down for a good 15 minutes where I was, hoping it may sort of just be, on the edge of the forest, waiting to see if I walk by or if I move, and it was going to pop its head out and just have a sniff to see if I was still around, but it didn't. So I suspect it went back to where it felt more safety. I don't think I'll make another video. Like I said, I have a feeling this will be it. This card is almost empty anyway, and I don't know if I brought a second micro SD card for video. So if not, the next video will be back. Actually, hopefully it'll be Burnt Lands. I really need to get out to Burnt Lands Provincial Park, do some sparrow photography, get the grasshopper sparrows, the Vesper sparrows, the clay coloreds, savannas. Although I got a nice savanna here. What else? Field sparrows. Yeah, there's a bit of everything. That's what I like. Burnt lands. So that'll probably be the next one. And barring that, let's say there's no videos after that, because I've probably got 3 or 4, if my memory is correct. The next big series of videos is going to be when we're in grasslands, riding mountain, and Sleeping Giant. We added 5 nights or 5 days at Sleeping Giant Provincial Park on the way back, which is just outside Thunder Bay. So that'll be 1 week West Block, 1 week East Block grasslands, 1 full week riding mountain, and then 5 days Sleeping Giant. The remainder 12 to 15 days, I can't remember the exact number is all the days we used to travel between sites and to get ourselves there and to get ourselves home. So it's going to be a long trip. We did well with this 3 weeks. This was the longest Joanne and I have spent in the trailer in one trip. 3 weeks, and it went well. No real problems. A bit of condensation because of the cold, I think, under the bed. But I think I know how to fix that with insulating. We have what's called the garage or the basement under the bed that's accessible from outside doors. So I think I'm just going to insulate that somehow, and that should help keep condensation off the bed, and keep the drafts down a bit too. So anyway, we'll talk to you a little later, but hope you enjoyed these videos from Algonquin. I actually hope I got to edit them, and we'll definitely be in touch, and we'll talk to you later in the summer. Okay, so anyone still willing to listen to me babble on, thanks a lot. I appreciate you following and listening to these videos, and I hope they're enjoyable for you as much as it was to make them. So take care, and we'll talk to you when we talk to you next. Bye for now.